Improv.
What is one piece of advice you'd give to an improviser starting out in comedy today?
Now, I'm going to ask you the same thing.
Okay.
Because one of the things that I missed out in Chicago was your tutelage. I didn't get enough of you. I could have used more from Mick, I think, certainly. But I was able to. But you, Mick, Jen Eslin, and I think Messing, those are people that I looked at and I was like, every minute that you're in the room with them, you can be a better comedian.
And we actually, do you remember we performed? There was
Yes.
like an all-star team
Yes.
like 3 times or something
God,
like that?
That was so embarrassing for me. I was just
Really?
like, yeah, I thought I'm on stage. I'm like, why am I here? What am I doing? Yes, disaster.
I remember we warmed up. This is the first time I met you. We were like in the hall.
This is only going to get more embarrassing from here on out.
Right,
Continue.
and you were like,
Truly.
all I remember is you. I'm like, okay, who is this guy? And he wants to rehearse, which I love. I love rehearsing. I love rehearsing more than. And you were like putting us through a exercise. Do you remember this
How
at all?
awful am I that I'm like, guys, everybody.
No, but
Bip,
you-
bap, boop, zip, zap, zop. Yeah. I would say to every improviser, it's so dumb, but like, don't overthink it. Just stop rehearsing. I mean, right there, I was doing something that I now look back on and it's embarrassing because just don't improvise, in a rehearsed manner. Just improvise. That's the nature of it. And then I would say, it's tough to make a living off of improvisation. So because it's tough to make a living off of improvisation, use improvisation to make a living off of acting, voiceover, whatever. I would say that would be my sort of, I guess, piece of advice. Again, I'm clearly not in a position to be giving advice, but I was going to ask you, what is your advice that you
My
give?
advice is, because I've blown so many opportunities from an audition to Saturday Night Live where they were going to fly me out.
I've done that too.
Are you kidding?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, I went out there and I had done Cloverfield and a couple of shows, and I felt like I couldn't tell 12-year-old TJ that he had the opportunity to audition for SNL and didn't do it. But I didn't want the job because I don't like the show. It's a bad show. Nobody watches it. It's not funny. It's not satirical. It's nothing anymore. Now it's just, it's a fucking Hulu video. That's what SNL is now. And at best. And my thing was I went into the audition and I go, I can either go all out and try and get hired, or I can do what I think is funny to do this evening, and see how that goes. That's what I did. It did not go well. I bombed the audition, didn't get hired. And instead of a blown opportunity, that ended up being one of my few saving graces, So yeah, I've had a lot of those opportunities and had them not go well, but it was always either a decision to just do something that made me laugh and do it in the service of the public, or I made a mistake and tried to get hired, And never have I tried to get hired and gotten the job. Always have I walked into a room like Yogi Bear 3D and bought my own Ranger hat and said, like, this is non-returnable, I can exchange it, but if I can wear this, if you mind, and how much headroom do I have here do I have enough headroom for the Ranger hat? Because I'm going to be doing some hat bits.
That's good object work.
And
You've
exactly.
not lost your
It's
object
good.
work.
That's
I think it's gotten
where
better.
it is. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, it's those auditions where I'm doing it because it's funny and because I want to make people laugh, not achieve something myself. Those are the ones
But
that...
you always bring a little extra, like that hat. A lot of people wouldn't do that. Or I read somewhere where there was some part and then you sent a letter or something like that. You're always doing something a little extra, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because I think it's funny. It's like if you're doing it anyway. I mean, for Yogi Bear, I made an audition video with a real bear, and I rented the bear. And that wasn't me being like, please, can I be in Yogi Bear? I mean, between you and me, Jimmy, and you're the only person I can really talk to about this, I did Yogi Bear 3D because I thought it would be funny to have been in Yogi Bear 3D. So I didn't do all that stuff and the video and the hat. And all that. I didn't do that to get in the movie. I did it because I thought it was funny, and I was hoping that and this is another big thing about auditions, go in and that's your show. Make those people laugh. Who cares about the movie or if you get it or not? Just go in and you're a comedian. Go in and do comedy. So that was the initiative behind the little extra, and it is every time is me kind of. To me, it's just funny. It's funny
it was
to
almost
send
like
the
a
video.
goof, right?
Yeah, the whole thing's a goof, man. The whole thing is a goof. That's the big reveal. That's what you learned today.
Oh my God.
The whole thing is a goof.
Improvisers. Improvisers.